Okay, we've got one big job, guys, and that's to create a new buyer presentation. So your 2024 buyer presentation, that includes information about and around the NAR settlement. Now, you don't have to talk about the settlement per se, but you have to adapt based on the settlement. So if you had a buyer presentation that you were using in 2022 or 2023, you got to rebuild it. You got to do it now, right? Now, some of you don't have one at all. And you say, man, how would I even get that out of my bag? I feel like that's like a little bit uncomfortable, Jim, to get a buyer presentation out. It shouldn't be, because we do one with listings all the time. But I get it, because it's new and it's different. You're not used to it. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. So let me give you some language to help you make it more comfortable. So when you're talking to a buyer for the first time, or you're having that first meeting, here's a few things that you might say. You can say, hey, can I just take a few minutes and kind of show you how I work before we go out and look at the first property? Would that be cool? What are they going to say? No. They're going to say yes. Another script could be, hey, can I explain my process on how I work with buyers? And say, yeah, of course. Hey, can I show you, the 10 steps involved in buying a house? Things have changed quite a bit over the last few years. A lot of people don't realize there's a few more steps than you might have been used to in the last time you bought a house. Can I just walk you through that? Take 10 minutes really quickly. Most people will say yes to that. Now it gives me permission to get out my presentation and then walk them through all the things that they need to really understand about this new buying process. Now, what's going to change in your presentation? Well, one thing that's going to change in your presentation is you're going to have to talk about buyer representation fees, right? You're going to have to talk about the fact that they're going to need to sign a buyer representation agreement. Now, should you wait until July 15th when this settlement is proposed to go into effect? No, you should be doing this right now. Don't wait. What's the downside of doing this now? There's no downside. Wouldn't you rather work with buyers that have fully committed and signed a contract with you than buyers that haven't done that? Wouldn't you rather have that? And today, just remember that all of these buyer representation agreements have similar language. Every single one, I've looked at many in every state that I've taught at, and I've taught all over the country. What you find in almost all of these agreements is a clause, and it says, here's what's going to be paid to your buyer representation agent, me, but it's reduced by any amount that the seller we receive from the seller, or that the sellers agree to pay. So now it's our job, and it's just going to be common practice that we're going to try to collect that from the seller in our offer agreements. That's just going to be standard practice. So we're going to say on our buyer rep fee, we're charging 1%, 2%, 3%, whatever our number is, whatever you've decided is your value proposition. And then I'm going to try to collect that from the seller. And a lot of sellers are going to still agree to pay it, but I've got to present it. I've got to talk about it. Now, how do I get somebody to agree to pay a fee of any kind? The only way I get anybody to pay any kind of fee is I've got to give a presentation of services. What are the 10 things I'm doing to help them in the process? And I've got to build my value, my proprietary value. In other words, what I do differently than every other agent in the market. That's the process. I want to walk people through. Here's the 10 things I do better than anyone else. Here's the 10 things that I can help you get done and accomplish in order for you to buy that dream home that you want. And then in order for to get those services, you have to sign a buyer representation agreement with me. No different than a listing. We do the same thing with listings. We just got to apply it to buyers. So my challenge for all of you, get to work rebuilding your buyer presentation. It's essential for your success in 2024. Have a great day and good selling.